With the first pick in the 1998 NBA Draft, the Los Angeles Clippers select Michael Olowokandi.
The Phoenix Suns select Dragan Bender from Croatia.
Welcome to Chasing Chips. We're back. I know it's been a minute. It really ain't been no minute. It's been a week. So we're just gonna get right into it. So I know usually we drink on this show while we talk sports, but it's the morning time. It's Sunday. I had a wedding I DJ'd yesterday. You went to a wedding yesterday.
Yeah.
So
we're not
we
raising
here
alcoholics.
and we're not alcoholics, so we're drinking water this morning. So just so to get right into it, you know it's us, we're Clippers, Suns fans, so we're gonna get right into the Pacific Division right off the top. So we're gonna start with the Suns. They got way too much going on over there. We ain't even touching the basketball court right now. We're just gonna talk about your owner. What's going on, my guy?
Yeah, plenty to talk about there. Robert Sarver, I don't know. I would say the majority of Suns fans are not fans of Robert Sarver. Like they kind of don't appreciate how he handled like Stoudemire and then all the other kind of stuff that's been going on. He's very cheap sometimes. Joe Johnson, especially when all that happened. And I think it was like 05, I want to say. Anyways, he's notorious to be cheap. And apparently there's some allegations of racism, sexism, and harassment going on that ESPN is going to report on Tuesday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we'll see. The thing that's kind of distasteful in my perspective is this push to deny those allegations ahead of this story that's getting posted. Like it seems like the Suns are posting stuff on social media and Instagram that is like basically denying everything. And I don't know, just like, why don't you just let us view it, let us see what happens, and report your side of it afterwards? I understand like Sarver's strategy with trying to get ahead of it, but it doesn't make him look good by forcing basically the social media, like Sun social media, to like post stuff and get it out there. It's just like, man, we're gonna view this whenever it comes out. Like, don't tell us how to feel, what to think. Let's see what the allegations are, and then before you start defending yourself.
I mean, right in this day and age, you got to defend yourself quick on those type of allegations. You can't even let it come out. You come out and they could be totally wrong or true. I don't know. But if I mean, I don't know. It's very touchy subject. I mean, for me, it's like you said, a lot of Suns fans don't like him anyway. So they're all like, woo, yeah, get him out of here anyway. But, you know, yeah, that's a crazy situation, you know.
I just know that it's like all these messages are clearly coming from the top. So when I read,
it's the top getting accused. So why would it not come from the top?
Exactly. But it's just like those posts don't hold any weight for me. So it's just kind of distasteful for them to be like posting that stuff. Like, let's see what the allegations are. And I'm honestly hoping that the NBA does force him to leave, because I'm so tired of Robert Sarver. He sucks. He's always sucked.
Mm-hmm.
And there's kind of been a glimpse of hope when he let James Jones take the wheel a little bit. And I will give him kudos to the champ for letting the champ kind of take over. I don't know how much I don't know really who was steering the ship when it came to the DeAndre Ayton negotiations. I assume it's Robert Sarver. Robert Sarver defers to James Jones with all that. I do know that Robert Sarver met with Ayton, at like some hotel or something like that. There was like pictures. I think TMZ posted or something. Anyways, I'm sure Robert Sarver was a lot more involved than he is saying he was with those negotiations. And I don't know. I just want him out. It'd be nice to have some new blood in there. And it'd be nice to not have this whole like story allegations and stuff looming over our heads during the season. We already got enough issues, and there's 82 games, and we're trying to get back into a championship caliber team and revisit the finals and run it back. And I just don't want this drama.
Look at the stress on his face, people. Look at the stress. He's stressed out. He's stressed. You don't know what. It's like you want to say, like, you want him to be out, but I feel like this is not the way you want him to be out, though. Like
Robert Sarver, I don't care. I mean,
you don't care how he gets out. You just want him out.
Yeah, I honestly just want him out, and I just want this to be a short-term like issue. I don't want it to be lingering all season. I don't think Monty deserves it. I don't think James Jones deserves it. I think
James came out and said none of what's been said describes Robert Sarver that I know, respect, and like, which is understood. But I mean, of course, when you ask Mike Tirico and all them people that's talked about on the air, how they like, that's not the John Gruden I know, and then boom, all this stuff came out. Right. So it's sometimes James got to know he wasn't there all his entire time while Sarver's been the Suns owner. So it's there's time before you guys. Times before you gotta wait.
Right. And it's just, I understand why he would say that. I'm not saying that he's necessarily lying or anything, because maybe he does have a good relationship with Robert Sarver, but of course he's going to say that because he's the GM and he's got to kind of like back his, owner or the owner of the team. I think Monty handled it well. Monty was just like, I'm not going to address it until things come out. Like, I mean, Monty's like the most mature coach.
He's great.
I love Monty.
Oh, fantastic.
He's a great guy. So my point is, like, let's just wait till the story is out and then we'll address it then. It just seems kind of classless for Robert Sarver to like make all these comments ahead of time and stuff. It's just like, I don't know. I don't trust Robert Sarver. I hope that he's out, but we'll see.
We will see.
Yeah.
We get right into another team. My Clippers, they're 0-2. They lost to the Grizzlies and the Warriors. The Warriors game, I knew was going to happen. When Steph has a bad game beforehand, usually in the next game he goes off, especially the shooting performance he had against the Lakers, and then he went off against us. So that wasn't surprising. I'm glad that we came back, made it a game. Steph still did his thing at the end. The second game, Paul George finally showed up again, doubled up what he had the first game, had 41 and 10, and we still lost to the Grizzlies because, if we give Steven Adams 21 points, we deserve to lose. Other than that, man, they've been playing well. I mean, my prediction of them being in the top 5 teams is looking very sketch right now, even though it's 0-2 and the season just started. I'm not going to panic. I'm not panicking.
You backtrack a little bit.
I am just a tad bit. Just a little bit. I don't want to go 0-3. I just don't want to have the same record as the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers are also 0-2. We saw Dwight and Anthony Davis fighting about something. They said they squashed it at the end. Everybody was making jokes that has something to do with NBA 75 at 76 players, but 75.
I think it has a lot to do with the Suns getting under the skin, honestly.
Oh, man. You saw LeBron talking smack to your boy, Campaign, on the sideline, telling him to be humble.
Okay, first of all, I'm fine with trash talking. That's all right. But I like it a little bit because it means that we're getting under LeBron's skin. I mean, if he's talking shit to like our backup point guard, why LeBron? Like, you're arguably the best player ever,
right.
or definitely best player in the NBA, arguably, whatever. It's LeBron James. Why are you arguing?
Right, I got you.
So it's just one of those things. It's like, oh, LeBron is upset. We got LeBron upset. I love it. So I'm all about that.
Do you think LeBron has and the things that I keep hearing from the locker room is that LeBron's, laughing, joking, playing music. He's not nervous. He's not panicking. He's chill about it. And it's making everybody else kind of chill. But the media is going like, oh, Lakers are 0-2. They're 8-0. They're 11-0 since they did the laughing thing against the Suns in the playoffs. I mean, 0-11 since they did the laughing thing against the Suns in the playoffs. You remember that? When LeBron was backing down and Jay Crowder. He just started laughing like this is about to be easy.
Yeah. Yeah, they tried to make us look to be fools, and then since then they're like 0-11. So yeah, I love it. Was it 0-11 or was it 16?
0-16. Ooh, my bad.
Yeah.
Even worse.
Yeah, I love it. But I mean, I understand like the media, they have a job to do to kind of build that narrative that everyone should be worried. No one ever should be worried for the first like 10 games. You know, it's just like teams are like starting to like figure themselves out. And I think the Suns were like 8-8 last year. And then we finished, I don't know what we finished with, like not very many losses. So, I mean, like we finished like really strong in the standings last year. So
yeah. Y'all got on the road last year.
Take time.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. I mean, also the Kings are 1-1 also in the division. And the number one team in the division right now is the Warriors. They're heating it up. They're going crazy right now. It's just incredible what Steph is doing. In the first 3 games. It's just like, I mean, this might be up to this new shooting thing he's been doing. I don't know if you've heard. Over the summer, over his workout, he's doing this new workout now where he's involving technology. Now he's not just going in just shooting just to shoot. You know what I'm saying? He's going in. The quote is, each time Curry hosts a shot, the technology tracks the ball movement, the ball's arc, and how deep the ball went into the rim. If the ball failed to drop through the middle of the rim, Curry and Payne, his trainer, simply counted that attempt as a missed shot. Curry and Payne also kept the same standard when he took shots on the move, an approach he took to emulate shooting against a swarming defender. This dude is doing all types of stuff to make it more difficult for him during his workouts. Yeah. And if he's doing workouts where he can only make swishes that hit the middle of the basket, middle of the net, we're in for it. I think a lot of
he's amazing. He's the best shooter ever.
He's best shooter. Oh, by far. Ever. He's about to catch Ray Allen this season, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And when I read that, I was like, this dude is unreal. Like, I think for him to be at that point where he's just making swishes. I remember playing basketball, and at the end of my workouts, I would be like, all right, I got to make 3 swishes to go home. Just 3. He's making swishes for 2-3 hours.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, you got to understand, man, this is a job of these guys. They got to create new ways, new fresh ways to stay fresh. You know, we have all heard of LeBron putting in $1 million just on his body, making sure he's healthy. It's just one of those things that it's incredible that these guys are coming up with new ways to stay at the top, stay crisp, stay clean, stay dominant, and
get better every day. Wow. You know, you'd think that like he's kind of already dubbed the best shooter ever, but then he's still working on his game, which is incredible, and it's admirable for sure. And it's also frightening from a opponent perspective. Like, you know, I don't want to. The Warriors are tough, and they're in our division, both of our division. So it's not ideal. And once Clay comes back, it's going to be another weapon for them. Jordan Poole's looking good. They got a squad, and then, you know, even got like Wiseman that's coming back, who's going to be developing into a good center in the league. And then Andrew Wiggins, who you can kind of, whatever. I don't really worry about him. But they got, Kuminga. Yeah, I mean, they got
Kuminga. They got a squad coming. Man, but like you talk about Clay, get to the NBA 75. Clay and the Warriors the other day just printed him a 77 jersey. He had to wear it. He was very upset for 2 straight days. He was upset the day of the announcement, and he said he woke up still mad about this stupid list. You know what I'm saying? He believes he should have been in the NBA 75. And that's going to add more fuel to the fire for him coming back. He's going to come back with some vengeance, going to come back more ready to just scorch the league, you know, and prove to these voters that he deserved to be in it. To him, he feels snubbed.
Yeah.
Who else do you feel was snubbed? And if so, you have someone, please take out somebody.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that's something that we should definitely practice. So, I mean, honestly, Kyrie should be in there. No doubt. No doubt. I mean, people can have their opinion about Kyrie and like his whole drama that he continues to create for himself. But he is top 75 player in the NBA ever, for sure. I mean, he's got championships, he's got stats, and he's arguably one of the best ball handlers ever. Like, I would put him top 3 ball handlers ever, maybe even one. Like, the man is smooth as hell. I mean, who else would you put in there? Steph? Or I mean, honestly, who else?
I'm gonna go with Walt Frazier. That boy had that ball on the string. You got Nate Archibald.
Walt Frazier, get out of here.
I just, I'm trying to make sure, this is the moments where I try to make sure people like, no, I ain't no casual. I will drop some people that y'all probably don't know and probably have to go look.
But you're not serious though, right?
I'm not serious.
Walt Frazier versus Kyrie and Handle.
Bob Cousy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing.
Stop it. I mean, I'm all for giving respect to the OGs, but it's just not one of those things that like we're in a different
Kyrie,
right now, especially when it comes to dribbling.
I think Kyrie is definitely top 3. Man, Steph, sometimes he has that on strength. I mean, for me, the number 1 dribbler is Jamal Crawford. I think he is the best I've ever seen.
Yeah,
dribble the ball
ever. Yeah,
because I know he doesn't score as. I think it's a different, like, we're just strictly talking about handles and just how foolish he will make people feel all the time. Like Kyrie, I don't feel like there's a scare. Like, I think people like, okay, I know I got to guard him. I got to guard him tough. But Jamal was like, you can see the fear in some of the defenders' eyes. Like, even the star defenders would just be like I'm not switching on Jamal. Like, if Jamal's in his bag, like, I'm not switching on him. Like, let him rock. How many of these like scrubs he made fall? Like, he's making NBA players fall on a regular basis throughout his career. Like, that's hard. That's hard to do. These are like NBA players. Like, he's just making them fall with ease and then knocking out a jumper or laying the ball.
So if we talking about like top 5 dribblers in the NBA ever, I definitely would have to throw in white chocolate in there. Jason Williams.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yes. Yeah. See, we added the 5. We got those 2 got white chocolate, bro.
Yeah, but we're gonna get too deep into this. We got
we can.
A lot to talk about. Start talking about Jason Williams and then white chocolate. All this.
Oh man, Jason Williams, bro. Like, when it was a special time.
Yeah.
Just his passing, his swag. It was just
elbow pass.
Oh man, off the elbow. How many times did you practice that as a kid? How many times did you practice
I can never really do it right.
Had to get it right.
But all right, as far as who I would take out, I'd say, I mean, the name that comes to mind is either Dame or Russell Westbrook. And I'm not saying that they should be far behind the 75. I'm not saying just like take them out and just like,
they can be NBA 100.
They would be close behind.
Yeah.
But, the fact that Russ hasn't won a championship yet and Dame hasn't won a championship yet, I hate to like go there. Also, I really do believe Russ is like a stat stuffer, and not throwing shade. I do have kind of like a rivalry with him right now, especially the last game we played. He was doing the rock baby to Devin Booker, and I didn't like that one bit. But I just think his shot is just awful. His jump shot's just awful. It's been awful. I think he's great in defense and like driving the ball, but I think he has too many gaps in his game to like put him in the top 75. And then Dame, Dame still has a lot to achieve. I think he's amazing, but let's talk at the end of his career about top 75. I wouldn't put him quite up there past Kyrie Irving yet. Like that's insane.
I don't agree with you about Russell. I think being able to do a triple-double while I was in OKC is a very hard feat. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Oscar Robertson was the last person to do it, average a whole, and that's pretty much what he's been doing since then. It's averaging triple-doubles.
Yeah, but how many times have you seen him like try to box out his own center in order to get a rebound? He'll get like 4 or 5 like rebounds that are like that other players aren't focused on because they're just like,
whose fault is that?
Big man get it.
Whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? Whose fault is that? You got to be.
Oh, but that's why I talk about like when it's a stat stuffer, he's just more of like a stat stuffer. He cares more about getting those like extra rebounds than other guards, you know, and that's why he's able to get those triple doubles. And I'm not trying to discredit him, you know, in full, because it is like a huge achievement, like the amount of triple doubles that he has gotten. But he, like a lot of his rebounds are just like no one on the other team is going for it, and it's just him and his center, and you know, he's just trying to like get it before his own teammate sometimes. And it's funny to watch like Melo and Westbrook on the same team now, because they're both like really aggressive to get like rebounds that are just like more just casual. And you know, Melo will like do the get the fuck out of here, you know, and Westbrook is trying to like grab it from him. It's funny. It's like watching two kids try to get the only good ball in recess.
I mean, I would have no argument with you if you just said Dame. Dame hasn't done anything. I mean, he got a lot of individual awards, but the one for me is he doesn't have MVP. I mean, Russell has an MVP.
That's true.
Two-time scoring champion, you know, 9-time All NBA.
Well, either does Kyrie, to be honest.
Yeah. Neither does Kyrie, but you know, I mean, Kyrie got a bunch of All NBAs and NBA All-Star. I mean, Russell Westbrook is NBA All-Star MVP twice. You know what I'm saying? I mean, those are deep things that I feel like Russell deserves to be in it. Dame does not. Kyrie is I thought was one of the biggest snubs. But for me, the biggest snub for me is Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
And I'm taking out Anthony Davis. I don't believe Anthony Davis is there yet. I don't think Anthony Davis led his team to the playoffs, but he didn't lead his team to the finals. You know what I'm saying? Like Dwight did. Yeah. Dwight led his team to the finals, even though they lost to the Lakers, but he led his team to the finals by himself.
Yeah. And his accolades are crazy.
8-time NBA All-Star, 5-time NBA, All NBA first team, All NBA second team, second NBA third team, 3 NBA Defensive Player of the Years, 4 NBA All Defensive first team, NBA All Defensive second team, blocks leader, rebound leader, slam dunk champion, NBA champion. So you can't. I think that one for me was the most disrespectful one. Right. Like I was like, y'all are tripping. Like when centers were dead. Centers are now pop back up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Right. Joel Embiid, Jokic, you know what I'm saying? Now it's kind of cool. Now it's kind of cool to have a center that can do things. But Dwight was in the league when the 3-point shot was starting to take off and everybody was saying, nah, we don't need a center anymore. You know what I'm saying? And Dwight was getting it like in that era where he was like the best center for like, I want to say maybe 10 years. He was the best center. Yeah. While he was at his entire career as a Magic, he was the best center in the league. Right. When he went to the Lakers after that, his dispute with Kobe, and then, you know, Rockets, I think that's a lot of things that played into it. The recent kind of played into these voters' minds. The Rockets, his Lakers time, his Rockets time, his Atlanta time, back to the Lakers, then to the Sixers, then back to the Lakers. And that's what happens towards the end of your career. You know what I'm saying? Right. Especially for centers. You start just traveling to different places. But when you start, and if you great, you stay where you're at. I look at everybody. Don't be surprised if Joel Embiid ends up on another team 10 years from now. It's just what it is. Centers get old. Yeah. They're still tall.
Right. And they still want to play.
They're still going to get minutes. Look at Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown played what, 13 seasons?
No, we can't start talking about Kwame Brown.
I know, but that's the point about big men. Like they're gonna stay in the league. Like it don't matter if they're great or not. They're gonna stay in the league. But Dwight is great, and I believe he should have been in it. Other than Anthony Davis, Anthony Davis is a fantastic player. He just isn't top 75 yet.
Right, and that's why I always take all these rankings and stuff with a grain of salt. You know, because a lot of it's subjective. And a lot of it, like, like, what are you basing it off of? Are you basing it off of just stats? Are you basing it off of like,
Well,
you know,
the base is
one or kind of like who matchups? Like I understand you gotta like respect a lot of the you know, OGs in the past.
yeah, they didn't take off anybody of the NBA's 50.
Right.
So the NBA 50 that we did, you know, 25 years ago, they kept all those guys and they added 25 more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, I don't know.
I think it's only 11 current players.
That's the whole point of this, is that they want to get people to talk about it, you know. And I
Oh,
get
yeah.
it. But it's just like super subjective, and like, you know, if all the drama with Kyrie wasn't a thing right now, and then all like the drama with Dwight Howard wasn't a thing, that they'd be in here, no problem.
Yeah, man.
No,
I mean,
no
look at
stat difference, no nothing, no accolades different. They would just you know, put them in there because it's just, you know, honestly, I think it's a little bit more subjective.
yeah, for sure. In 25 years, we'll be sitting somewhere on vacation talking about this again.
Right.
Me
Speaking of,
we may not be on camera, but 25 years, they're gonna do an NBA 100. They're gonna do the top 100 players.
yeah.
And we'll be much older. And who knows?
Speaking of Aiden, though, I do need to mention something about that. You know, I know we talked about Robert Sarver and all that drama, you know, but this whole Aiden thing, luckily I've had some time to like think about it, and obviously I'm disappointed that the deal wasn't done. I think the majority of Suns fans wanted the deal done. I mean, I'm like 90%, 95%. Like, it seemed like I didn't really see any comments that were talking about how you know, he didn't deserve it. I will say that the 5-year 172 mil might be a slight overpay, but in the end, like, you just gotta give him the money. And I think he's that good of a player. And apparently, whether it was James Jones' call or Robert Sarver's call or a combination of both, they just weren't willing to do the 5-year deal. And perhaps, now that I think, like, I've had time to think about it, that has to do with reconstructing the team after Chris Paul is gone, you know? And I think whoever, James Jones, we'll just say in this case, didn't want to have him locked in for that long, which, you know, you want to not pigeonhole yourself, and you want to have some flexibility later on, you know, 3-4 years down the road. I get it. I understand. But it's going to be weird now. It's going to be weird. And if I had to bet, I would say that Ayton is as good as gone, as far as like, either we're going to trade him eventually, maybe this year, next year, whenever. But I do think that, like, he is not happy about getting that contract signed, and you know, he's very disappointed. I think he's gonna, I mean, hopefully he's mature this year and like plays with a chip on his shoulder, and, you know, doesn't, I mean, it remains to be seen. So, I mean, we are trusting a 22-year-old to be very mature when it comes to like $1 million contracts. So that's like asking a lot, I'd say. But we'll see. I mean, he has shown signs of maturity. I would say he's very mature for his age, and he has made a lot of sacrifices for this team. He, you know, took a hit on his like offensive production, just from being asked to do that. You know, the team asked him to focus more on defense and, you know, being a rim protector than they did to like create shots for themselves. They basically told him, don't ever shoot threes. Last season, I think he shot like 2, you know, and he wants to shoot threes. I think he's capable of shooting threes. Now is he a good 3-point shooter? No, but I think he's better than most big centers. And he wants to like get better in that game. So, but he didn't shoot threes last year. He wasn't shooting as many shots as he could have, and he just like took a back seat for the betterment of the team, you know. And then the whole thing was like, oh, you know, I remember Chris Paul saying like, oh, we're gonna get him paid, and, you know, I think it was his perspective is like, I made all these sacrifices, you know, I was really good in the playoffs, you know, we went to the finals, like I should get like Trae Young type money, you know. And that's what this kind of contract emulates, the 172 and 5-year extension. But you could argue that, is he as good as Trae Young? I don't know. that's
I mean, I think that money is kind of like for the best player on the team.
Right.
I think he's important, but I think they should at least do like a 4 or 3.
Yeah, and that's why it was kind of tough.
3-1 or something like that, but they wouldn't come down from the 5. So
he was unwilling to like move from 5, and I think they were just playing hardball with each other. Apparently, the negotiations didn't even get that deep. It was just like, hey, we want 5-year 172, and they're like, hey, we're not going to do a 5-year extension, and they're like, okay, well, that's all we're doing, and it was like left at that. So, I mean, there's been a lot of talks about trades now. I feel like not everyone, but a lot of Suns dream trade would be for like Cat, but let's
all right. Anywho,
that down the road. I know that's what I'm saying. Like I get tired of hearing it all the time. Like let's just focus on the now and focus on the trade rumors later on. You know, this is going to be a lot to talk about with the trade rumors down the road. But
and there's a lot to talk about in the rest of the NBA.
Yeah,
exactly. Other NBA news.
Exactly. But yeah, in conclusion, I'm disappointed that it wasn't done. I think we should have paid him. And now that it's not done, I'd say that Ayton,
he's gonna have an up and down.
Keep him on the Suns, moving forward.
Yeah, he's gonna have an up and down year because of this. His emotionals is gonna be all over the place. They're gonna ask him every time they get a chance to. They might ask him top of the season. They'll ask him again in the middle of the season. And when we get to the end of the season, especially right after a playoff game or something like that, they're going to ask him. So he's gonna get this question all year. So he needs to just be ready for it.
Yeah, I just hope that that doesn't turn into like another Joe Johnson situation. And I hope that we can at least get some value for him. If we do decide to trade him. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
So who are you impressed by in the NBA as you just walk off? So
I was told to shade.
You said what?
The sun was right in my eyes, dude. Blinding me. So I had to put the shade down. But okay, what'd you say?
I mean, the sun is in everybody's eyes.
Damn, drama.
I'm just letting you know. I'm just saying.
I got a very sunny place.
Yeah, it's very.
Got a lot of plants in here.
Yeah, it's got it. Yeah.
All right, what was the question?
Impressed by NBA.
Oh, easy. Mikal Bridges. Easy. It's just because, and I know I'm biased Suns fan, so of course I'm gonna like prioritize any Suns players. But I mean, honestly though, think about it. Mikal Bridges.
I'm not gonna think about it. Go ahead. Dude. Go ahead and spew this unnecessary stuff.
Unnecessary.
Go ahead, spew it. Go ahead. Talk about it. Talk about Mikal Bridges. Talk about Mikal. Go ahead.
So Mikal Bridges, dude, he was matching up really well against LeBron. I know LeBron's always going to score his points, but like he was playing great defense when we played the Lakers on LeBron. He's also like LeBron. I don't know if he's caught sleeping a lot guarding Mikal. Mikal's a great cutter.
LeBron always sleeping on guarding.
Progressed his game with shooting. I remember when we drafted Mikal and he had that broke ass shot. He was like had like a hitch or he had like a double, pump with his shot. And why are you saying like that?
Let me see what this man's stats looking like since we over here just talking about his like shooting and how he looks guarding LeBron.
He's getting better.
He's getting better.
A lot better. He's getting bigger. He's got 7'1" wingspan. He shoots the ball well. He plays great defense.
When I type in Bridges, the first Bridges come out is Miles. Okay, 16, 21, and 14. Okay, 3. All right, double figures.
All right.
He's all right. He's doing something.
Yeah. He doing something?
Well,
who's your guy? Reggie Jackson?
My person I was talking smack about when we first did the first episode was Tyler Hero.
Okay. Yeah.
Tyler Hero out here coming out.
Yeah, he's good.
27, 30, and 10.
Yeah, wow.
Against the Pacers.
6 a year.
What is going on? Is that like a army plane? It was an earthquake out here earlier this morning. Just throw that out there.
LA.
Shook the entire house. Woke up, was like, what? Went right back to sleep. That's the LA for you. That's when you're born and raised in Los Angeles. You get earthquakes all the time. By the time you get older, you don't like act a fool on these small ones. It's like a 3.2 or something like that. But anywho, yeah, definitely Tyler Hero. I was taken aback. I couldn't believe what he was doing. I'm like, this guy is really out here hitting shots, clutch shots, knocking down shots, getting rebounds.
Yep.
Like, and he's definitely playing with a chip on his shoulder. I don't think he appreciate all the people that were laughing at him for saying he should be getting paid or I mean, I know he came out and said he didn't mean that. That's where he wants to get to, is getting getting paid as much as them.
Right.
But
aspirations.
I think people laughing at his aspirations made him mad. You know what I'm saying? Right. Laughing that you think you're at this with Trey and Luka. Nah, you're not there. You're not gonna be there. Like, and I was one of them people. So I'm gonna take it back. I apologize, Tyler. You know what I'm saying? You're doing your thing. Keep doing
he's still not gonna be there. Let's calm down. But like, I think he's been playing really well. 6 man of the year candidate.
Huh?
6 man of the year candidate for sure.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get there. And that's right when we walk into it. Our week late takes. So we're gonna throw real quick, MVP, MIP, 6 man, defensive player of the year, rookie of the year, coach of the year. We're gonna go through all those real quick. We're not gonna give y'all no explanations of why we're picking them. Yep. But these are all people we've picked a week ago. We just didn't get a chance to say them. So let's go with it. We're gonna start with MVP. And she's thinking about it right now.
MVP. I mean, I'm gonna have to go with KD because I just think that
no.
KD.
No.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I forgot.
Giannis for me. Giannis is Giannis. I was questioning Giannis. Giannis. Yeah. Most improved player.
Most improved player. I'm gonna go with Mikal Bridges.
I'm gonna go with Zach LaVine. 6 man.
Zach LaVine, really?
Don't question it.
6 man of the year. I'll go with Tyler Hero for sure.
I was gonna go with Tyler.
That's all right. We can agree for once.
I can't go with Tyler. If we're saying we made these picks, so I have to go. Man, Alex Caruso. Boom. There we go. That's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Alex Caruso. Because I was gonna go with Tyler, but I feel like that was because I changed because of how he played this week. That might have changed my answer from earlier, but I think it's Alex Caruso. That's what I have first. Alex Caruso. Defensive player of the year. Your favorite award?
Who should get it or who will get it?
Who should get it?
Okay, who should get it?
And if you say Mikal Bridges again.
Get double award. Love it. Come back to me. Go first. Come back to me.
Bam is for me. I got Bam.
Bam. I think I'll go Giannis.
Okay. Rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year. I'm gonna have to go with Jalen Green.
All right, Evan Mobley for me. Coach of the year.
My boy, Monty. You know it's Monty Williams. He got snubbed last year. Honestly,
he did get snubbed last year. He did. I agree with that.
Suspect. It was very suspect.
And usually in these awards, if you get snubbed the year before, then you most likely win it if you have a good year. That's why, as much as I picked MVP Giannis, I think Steph is probably gonna win MVP because everybody believes he got snubbed last year and he's killing it this year. For me, it's James Borrego. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. The Charlotte Hornets coach.
Okay. Honestly, if that happens and Monty doesn't get it this year, I'm protesting.
Obviously that's my dark horse.
Unless the Hornets make top 4.
That's what I'm saying. If the Hornets make top 4, he should win. James should win.
But let's be real, they're not.
I mean, how they playing? They over here winning clutch game. I mean, they haven't played anybody tough, but they're winning the games. Last year they couldn't win the games they're supposed to win. Now they're winning the games they're supposed to win. Now they just have to beat the teams that people don't think they're going to beat.
It's been 3 games.
And that's where the coaching comes in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll see. That's a bold prediction. Hot take, spicy.
Hot take. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to, right now we're going to end it with a little segment of our thing we're going to end. It's called personal stories or personal news or personally things that we think we want to let y'all know or would share. For me, it's music. I'm a big music guy. So I just want to, y'all see the records on the wall. So I want to definitely make sure y'all know about Mahit Jordan. Their new album came out. It's fire. And then another artist is Jordan Ward. Jordan Ward is featured in Beyonce's Coachella. He was like one of the main people she was yelling at on the stage. He now has come out with an EP and he's good. So check those two people out. That's me. That's what I just want to drop personally. Music.
All right, personally, I don't really have anything. This kind of took me.
You don't have nothing. You know how many comments I get about you blazing while we were talking?
What was that?
Everybody hit me up like, "Yo, boy is just what's he smoking?"
oh, yeah. I mean, I work in the cannabis industry. For all y'all that don't know, cannabis is a big part of my life. I'm a huge advocate. So, yeah, I do consume cannabis, and no judgment. People have their, what they like to do. So to each his own.
Mm-hmm.
I like to smoke cannabis and drink scotch. So for sure. But I will say, something that we didn't touch on that I would like to touch on.
Okay.
Is, what's going on with the Suns and Clippers this past 3 games? And I'll dive into it with the Suns. We're 1-2 right now.
What are you talking about? What we didn't talk about? What do you mean?
What do you mean? We didn't talk about it.
Oh, you didn't talk about. I talked about mine because your news was bigger than the game on the court.
Right. That's true. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Is that Robert Sarver right now is hanging over our head, and all this DeAndre Ayton contract stuff's hanging over our head, and we're not focused on the games. So I just need to have like a little segment on the games because the Lakers matchup was great. I thought we came out with a lot of energy. At one point, I think in third quarter, we beat them by like over 30. So that was great. We kind of definitely made a statement there. But this game yesterday, man, we just looked tired.
Who did I play?
We played Portland, and it was a back-to-back, So, I mean, dude, Portland, they're a great team, and they have depth. Norman Powell, good.
He's a lie. Stop.
But here's the thing.
They are not great. Stop. I know y'all lost. They're not great. They cool.
They're good.
They're all right. They haven't,
They're good. But the point I'm trying to make is that the Lakers matchup was like a statement, and everyone came to play, and it was high energy. And then the next game, we play Portland, and you can tell that our guys are just tired. And, they were just beating us on the first step. Like we couldn't keep up on defense. Yeah. I think JaVale McGee shot like 5 shots in a row. And it's just like, man, we got to just do better. We got to mesh better. And we're getting there. I'm not worried about it, but we got stomped last night. It was embarrassing. I rarely turn the game off, and I had to turn the game off in the fourth quarter because it's just like, man, there's no point of even watch this anymore because let's just get these guys off the court.
There's cities that back-to-backs are very deadly in.
Mm-hmm.
Back-to-backs going in LA to Portland is very deadly because especially if you win in LA, because then you go out, especially at the beginning of the season, these guys now able to go out, they going out. Say, look at we talked about we communicated about the Bucks. The Bucks won a game, and then when next day they went to Miami, got destroyed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do I think that the Miami's that better of a team? No. Do I think the city is probably a reason why they lost? Yes. A lot of these guys haven't been able to go out for the past year and a half, and now they're back into their routine of going out, traveling these different cities again. Right. If you're vaccinated, you get to go out with the team and go out in the city and stuff like that. I think these guys are enjoying their time, the beginning, being with their teammates, getting to travel around. So back-to-backs, especially those big cities, are going to be tough. A lot of these teams that are good are going to get blown out on the first time back-to-backs. That's just how we see it. Usually the blowouts ain't this big, but if you're coming from like a smaller city into a big city, you're trying to enjoy yourself. You're playing in Phoenix, you're going to LA. You're playing in Milwaukee, and you're going to Miami. Like, come on. Like, you're going to go there and have a good time. I would. I'm not going to play. I'm going to go have a good time, and then hopefully my game can go through the whole 48 minutes. Most likely not, but I'm going to take this L very early. They probably won't do the same thing later on in the season, but these are factors I believe are real in the NBA. Yeah. And I feel back-to-backs are tough, especially your first back-to-back. So, I mean, take that loss with a grain of salt. You lost to the Trailblazers. They're going to get wins like this, but don't.
Especially whenever the opponent is well-rested. I think they had like 2 days of rest.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just, man, they were just so much quicker than us. And it just felt like they had like cement in their shoes or something, man. It was rough.
It was.
Booker played well, but everyone else just like, So put it behind us. Get over it. We're all good.
Well, like we said, you guys, we're going to definitely, me and Josh are working on doing this twice a week, giving it to y'all every Sunday.
Right.
We still ain't really picked a day during the week where we're going to become
We're
consistent.
busy folks.
We're this is we're new to the podcast, video podcast world and things like that. And we definitely appreciate y'all rocking with us when we come out with stuff. The more and more consistent we become, we're definitely going to be putting out videos at least once a week. We're definitely striving for twice a week. We're trying to do this thing, trying to keep it up. We love talking basketball. We love talking to y'all. We just like chatting about it. We like y'all rocking with us.
Yeah, and please comment and just like ask us some questions. You know, we'd love to involve the audience with just certain topics and stuff. You know, we always have plenty to talk about, you know, but if anyone wants to focus on something that's on their mind, you know, happy to do so.
I feel like I gotta be the YouTuber too. Like, hey, make sure you hit the subscribe button.
Subscribe button.
Make the subscribe
button
down there at the bottom. All right, I'll talk to y'all. Have a good one. Have a great week. We'll talk to y'all later.
All right, y'all.